You're addicted to being a victim, and you don't even know it. Every story you tell, every excuse you make, every reason you give for why your life isn't working, it's all feeding the same drug, the drug of powerlessness. But here's what nobody tells you about victim identity. It's not protecting you. It's slowly killing who you could become. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your brain fights so hard to keep you trapped in victim thinking, and how the Stoics discovered the one identity shift that breaks you free forever. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about rewiring your fundamental sense of self. Here's the hidden threat nobody talks about. Victim identity feels safe because it removes responsibility. When you're the victim, nothing is your fault. When nothing is your fault, you never have to face the terrifying possibility that you might fail or succeed. Your brain is designed to protect you from psychological threats, and nothing threatens your ego more than the possibility that you have the power to change your life, but you've been choosing not to use it. Think about your internal dialogue when something goes wrong. This always happens to me. I can't catch a break. If only they understood. It's not fair. Each phrase is another brick in the prison you're building around your potential. Aurelius Maximus once told a student something that shattered his victim identity forever. The student had spent an hour explaining why his business failed, why his relationships ended, why his health was declining. All external forces, all outside his control. When he finished, Aurelius sat in silence for a full minute. Those piercing silver eyes, seeming to see through decades of self-deception. Then he said, "You speak of your life as if you were never there. That's the victim trap. You become a spectator to your own existence. Things happen to you, not through you. You're acted upon, never acting. You're the effect, never the cause. And every day you practice this identity, it becomes more real." But here's where it gets dangerous. Victim identity isn't just about how you see past events. It shapes how you approach future possibilities. When you identify as someone things happen to, you stop looking for ways to make things happen. You stop seeing opportunities because victims don't create opportunities. You stop taking risks because victims don't have agency. You stop dreaming big because victims don't believe they have power. The identity doesn't just explain your past, it limits your future. Marcus Aurelius understood this trap 20 centuries ago. He wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life, is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Not your circumstances, not what happened to you, your way of thinking, your identity, your choice about who you are in relationship to what happens." The Stoics weren't naive about suffering. They lived through plagues, wars, betrayals, losses that would break most people. But they discovered something revolutionary about human psychology. The story you tell about your suffering determines whether it destroys you or transforms you. There are two stories you can tell about any difficult experience. The victim story. This happened to me, and it proves I'm powerless. Or the Stoic story. This happened, and I get to choose who I become because of it. Same events. Completely different identity. Completely different future. Marcus Steele learned this the hard way. Corporate executive, successful by every external measure, but his internal dialogue was pure victim. His demanding boss was ruining his career. His ungrateful team was sabotaging his projects. His family didn't appreciate his sacrifices. He had a story for every frustration, and in every story, he was powerless. The shift happened when he realized something terrifying and liberating at the same time. Every victim's story was actually a choice. He was choosing to see himself as acted upon, rather than acting. He was choosing powerlessness because it felt safer than responsibility. That angular jawline that never relaxes, it's not tension from external pressure. It's the physical manifestation of someone who's taken complete responsibility for their response to life. No relaxation because there's no victim identity to fall back on. Only choice. Only response. Only power. Here's how you make the shift. Start listening to your internal narrative, like a scientist studying a fascinating specimen, not judging it, not fighting it, just noticing. How often do you describe yourself as the recipient of action rather than the source of it? How often do you use language that removes your agency? Then practice the Stoic reframe. Instead of, "My boss doesn't appreciate me," "I haven't found the right way to demonstrate my value." Instead of, "I can't lose weight," "I haven't yet committed to the choices that create weight loss." Instead of, "People don't understand me," "I haven't learned how to communicate clearly." Feel the difference? Same situation, but now you have power. Now you have agency. Now you have a path forward. This isn't about denying that bad things happen, or that some people face unfair circumstances. It's about recognizing that your identity in relationship to those circumstances is always, always a choice. And that choice determines everything that comes next. The victim asks, "Why is this happening to me?" The Stoic asks, "How can I use this?" The victim says, "I can't." The Stoic says, "I haven't yet." The victim believes, "I'm powerless." The Stoic knows, "I always have choice." Your identity is not what happened to you. It's how you choose to relate to what happened to you. And that choice is where your freedom lives. The moment you stop identifying as someone things happen to and start identifying as someone who chooses their response to what happens, everything changes. Your past becomes fuel instead of chains. Your challenges become training instead of evidence. Your pain becomes wisdom instead of proof of powerlessness. This is the identity that changes everything. Not victim, not survivor, chooser, responsible, free. You're not who you think you are. The next video proves it.